That was horrible.
I'll gather round the snowman. It is the holidays. Now tell me what you're thankful for. Is that was horrible.
Mommy, I don't want That Was Horrible for Christmas.
Man, that's too damn bad, Vicky. You gonna get That Was Horrible this year and every year after that.
But every time I do it, Daddy never comes home. And you say that if I get That Was Horrible for Christmas, then I get Daddy come home.
Well, you see now, Vicky, all these horrible movies, they got daddy issues, and that's just like your life. So I thought it will bring you some comfort in these horrible times this holiday season.
Okay, Mommy, but you gotta promise me one thing.
Yeah. What is it?
You'll stop smoking those cigars because I can't do it all alone. I'm only 42 years old. I'm here alone in my bedroom.
I'll smoke until I'm dead.
All right, now that it's just me, Vicky, small little 42-year-old girl, I guess it's time for me to grow up. Picks up cigarettes.
Vicky picks up cigarettes and lights them. She takes a long drag.
Oh man, now I'm just like Mama. There's my 6 kids.
And Vicky looks up to the sky and she sees the ghost of her mother smiling down upon her.
You proud of me now, Mama? I'm listening to That Was Horrible.
And then a snowman comes in and kills her.
And then the camera pans out, and on the ground are her headphones, and there's a record playing, That Was Horrible record, and you just hear our voices saying bullshit. So anyway,
Hello everyone, welcome to That Was Horrible. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Derek.
We are your co-hosts of That Was Horrible, a podcast where we do our best at reviewing the worst in the horror world.
Or the best in the worst.
Or the best in, like, radio show Christmas time stuff.
Yeah, because, like, everyone's taking breaks.
Holidays. We need to be inclusive. It's holidays, not Christmas.
This is true.
Yeah.
We need to be more inclusive.
Everybody's welcome here.
I mean, we did celebrate
happy
Hanukkah
holidays.
last night, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
see, we did that with
we're
our
celebrating
friends.
it.
So, yeah. So we're inclusive. Is what
I would love to be friends with more people who are other, like, different.
Tell
religious.
us more about different holidays.
I want to learn all of them.
Let's make our own holiday for the podcast. Horrorsmas. Creepsmas. It's Creepsmas.
That's mass at the end, and I don't want to copy an already existing Christmas.
We'll come up with something. We still have some time left in the month, but
arguably I'll forget about it.
It's the holiday season, so now we're in it. We're getting into our little like holiday time. You know, snow's on the ground. There's lights up. There's nice trees that are lit up all pretty, and they look all fancy.
Do you wonder why someone was like, "I'm just gonna have a tree in my house"?
Yeah,
like what's better than having a tree outside than a tree inside?
I think this man just really loved his tree like a lot. Maybe it was like he was having something of like, you know, an affair with this tree, and he's like, "Oh, look at her." She's so cold outside. She needs to come in. I can't leave her outside.
So he told his family of 30, like,
yeah, because he's a married man, 30 kids.
And he's so tired of his life, but he looks outside and he sees that beautiful tree.
It's
and
gorgeous.
He's like, honey, we need to bring the tree inside. And
I like to imagine he put the lights on it because it was a weird thing. Like, honey, why is this tree inside? He's like, no, it's a festivity.
It's a festivity.
Obviously. Look, take these lights, kids. String them around the tree.
Oh my God.
And he's sitting there sweating because she looks so pretty in these lights.
He's like, I can't handle it. Wait, put candles on her.
Yeah. Now tinsel.
Oh, popcorn.
Now put a bunch of balls on strings.
Oh, balls on strings.
That's it.
That's it, honey. And then, like, in the middle of the night, he sneaks down in his red robe and his white wig to go and sleep with the tree. And
but it's like his pajamas. It's like old man Scrooge with like his nightcap and his thing, but it's red. Yes.
And he sneaks downstairs and he's, you know, getting it on with the tree. And he's like, ow, oh,
yeah.
You know,
it hurts, but I love it.
Yeah, and then the kid, like, one of his 30 kids walks down. She's like, Daddy, what are you doing? Oh. The ho is actually him in pain. So he's like, oh.
No.
He looks outside, sees his deer just like patrolling. And he's like, my reindeer. It's raining, dear.
It's raining, dear. Go play in the rain. What's that, Dad? Wow, that must be a reindeer. How fancy.
Oh man. Ow. I got nothing for Elf.
Nope.
He was just a big Tolkien fan.
Yeah. And she was learning Spanish on Duolingo. So she comes to her brother. She's like, Chris, we need mas. Chris, mas, we need more.
So good. And in the morning, the dad's like covered in pine needles.
Oh my God.
What's
But he's
wrong, huh?
smiling.
But
He's
he's
happy about it. And he's kind of like limping a little bit. he's kind of like, adjusting himself in his crotch region.
And his name was Ta. That was his name.
Ta.
So he's like, why are you so sad, Dad? Why are you so sad, Ta?
Why are you so sad, Ta?
Or his favorite font was Sans. So it's like, why are you so Sans,
Ta
Ta?
loves Sans. Ta Sans.
Santas. Wow.
This is nothing.
No, this is it.
This is nothing.
This is what I'm going to tell my kids. I have the real origin of Christmas.
Oh,
stuff
yeah?
on my- No, I don't want to talk about it.
No, yeah, that's...
Because
who wants
we-
any of that stuff anyway?
Please, someone go edit Wikipedia with the true source of Christmas. This actually took place in 1943.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like the true story of Thanksgiving has to do with Sasquatch, right? You told me all about
yes.
that. Yeah.
That's true. Did you guys know this?
It's a thing. Go look it up.
Yeah, just type in like Sasquatch was part of the first Thanksgiving.
Big Thanksgiving trying to ruin the Sasquatch narrative.
I've been out picketing on street corners,
Yeah.
but now people are like throwing balls at me, like Christmas balls, like ornaments.
Like ornaments is what they're
Yeah.
called. Oh, ornaments is what they're called. Yeah.
Ornaments.
Ornaments.
Oh, and Santa was so
And we could talk
so
about
ornery.
that. He's so ornery. We could talk about that. Ornaments. We could talk about the movie that we watched this week.
Did we watch a movie? I thought we just made up the origin.
No,
for
we
Christmas.
watched a movie this week. So for our first pick, if you didn't listen last week to get the little sneak peek of what we're going to be watching, this week we watched Jack Frost,
1997.
lovely movie with Michael
Not
Keaton.
1998. Because
No.
that's a lovely movie with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, there were 2 Jack Frost movies released within a year of each other.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And
And the premise for both of them is pretty much like a man is turned into a snowman. The rest of the movie happens.
I mean, in one of them, he starts murdering people.
Yeah,
In
one of
the
them,
other one,
he's a psychopath.
he doesn't start murdering people. Which one did we watch?
We watched, gosh, it's so hard to tell which one was killing people. Oh,
yeah, because
man.
Michael Keaton was just killing the screen.
Michael-
so it's like, is Michael Keaton the one killing everybody?
Yeah,
or
is
not?
he killing it,
He's Keaton up with the Kardashians.
Oh my God. No, we watched the one where a homicidal maniac gets turned into a snowman killer and runs rampant on Snowmonton? What was the name of the
Snow
town?
Mountain. Snowmountain.
Snowmonton. Yeah, it's not a very clever naming convention. But yeah, that's what we watched.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so fun fact, we did not watch the Michael Keaton one.
I wish, though.
But I didn't know this. Keaton plays the title character of a father and musician who's killed in a car accident, only to be brought back to life in the form of a snowman via a magical harmonica.
What?
A magical harmonica.
From who?
Harmonica.
Who's playing this harmonica?
Probably the kid.
The kid
Probably.
sitting there? Oh, I miss my dad. I am so sad. Wish my dad would come back with a present gift full of... No, I was going to say present sack, but I can't say full of sack.
Daddy, why are you so full of sack now?
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
We watched one where instead a homicidal maniac gets turned into a...
It's like Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson maniac gets turned into a snowman.
Bart. Nope. Homer. No. Homer. Stop killing those kids, Homer.
Homer, I love your snow body. Oh. No, she goes to him. She finds his body at the morgue, and they're like, "We need you to identify the body." And they lift up the tarp, and he's just like a puddle of melted snow. She goes, "Look at how they massacred my boy."
Oh, you did it. You brought it in. Your favorite Marge quote of all time.
It's so great.
Okay, yeah. So we watched Jack Frost from 1997. But before we get into that, Isaac, what are you drinking today?
What am I drinking today? Well, it's a good thing you asked. So we had a fun idea from my friend Maddie, friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast, Maddie.
Yeah, she said, "Wouldn't it be fun?" Because Derek has started doing this bit where he's like, "What are you drinking this week?" And it's been like Celsius the past 2 times we've done it.
Yeah.
So no more free ads, Celsius.
No
You
more
hear
free
that?
ads, Celsius.
We're done giving you free money. But we are going to start giving money to ourselves in the sense that we have started creating, well, Derek has started creating because he's the creative one here, like a themed drink for the movie that we watched. So Derek, tell me a little bit about what we got here.
Yeah, so this is the Jack Frost special cocktail. I named it the world's most pissed off snow cone because that is a line Jack Frost says in the movie.
I think it's great.
So
This is super fun.
What we got here is a pina colada made with bourbon, lime juice, and simple syrup. And then I drizzled. You can't really see it in the camera, or
And if you're
in
listening on the
vocals.
radio, then you definitely can't see
Maybe
this.
they can though. Close your eyes. Okay,
Close your eyes.
everybody
Derek's
your
going to paint you a word picture right now.
And then I drizzled a bunch of the strawberry syrup in the bottom, and then you pour the drink directly into it, and what happens is it looks like blood dripping down the sides. And then I garnished it with a carrot because carrot knows.
Yeah, mine was garnished with a carrot too, but then it fell inside, so now I just have a melted snowman with his carrot nose chilling in the drink.
And you may not think that bourbon would work with a pina colada. And let me tell you, it barely does. So I think it's worth trying.
I think it's pretty good, not that bad. But yeah, at some point I'm going to get a very bourbon infused carrot, and that's going to be fun.
Bear it. And you're going to bear
I'm just
it.
going to grin and bear it.
Yeah, so anyway, thanks, Maddie, for this great idea.
It's
I
a
don't think you
fantastic idea.
understand when Isaac was like, hey, this might be a cool idea. I freaked out and ran to the kitchen.
I don't know if any of you guys know, but Derek is like a culinary genius.
We talk about it.
Yeah,
all the
so
time.
we
I'm
talk
not
about
a
it all the
culinary
time.
genius. I just like know stuff.
Nah, he's a
'cause I went
culinary
to
genius.
school
He's
for it.
humble. Don't let him be humble. He's great. But anyway, so yeah, now we have a fun opportunity to make fun drinks, and that's a fun
And maybe
time.
in the future, if I have enough of these drinks, I'll put out like a cocktail book or something.
Whoa!
I'm keeping a list of them, writing down the recipes. And let me tell you, this drink kind of slaps.
I mean, are we going to release a That Was Drinkable drink book? Is that what it is?
What? This is such a good idea.
So Garfield.
No. Okay, so it's been a week, right?
Yeah.
It's been a week. I
thought it
forgot
over.
Garfield existed.
So yeah, we've thought it over. We've decided we're going to have just a segment on the podcast every episode called Live, Laugh, Lasagna, where we're just going to discuss Garfield at
The
length.
3 L's of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Live, laugh, lasagna.
We're gonna get a new sign and we're gonna put it up on the wall. It says "Live, laugh, lasagna."
It's pretty good.
I actually have nothing to say about Garfield.
Oh yeah, do you not?
I just thought we'd get it out of the way, right? I think we've made our peace now. Garfield, we've appeased the Gar God, and now we don't have to bring him up anymore, right?
Hey, it's me, Science Jim.
Oh, hello, Science Jim.
I just have one quick question.
What's up? How's
Why
it
do
going?
you keep talking about Garfield every episode?
We are possessed because the Gar God has looked to us
God.
with great disdain, and so we have to make our sacrifice of our listeners' time every week and talk to them at length about Garfield.
Maybe
so that we don't get killed by the Gar God.
I think you're only doing it because last episode Derek got on his hands and knees and was like, please somebody tell me if they hate Garfield content. Nobody said it.
Nobody said anything.
Which means
None of you stopped us.
Which means no one really listens to this podcast.
Or people
everyone wants
love the
more
Garfield content. Now, which is it? What's happening?
I don't know. You tell me, you're the science guy.
Why is Science Jim here to tell me this?
I don't know. Derek didn't want to talk. He's having an out of gym moment.
Oh no, I'm scared. Out of gym moment.
I just wanted to talk to Saint Jim. There's something like glorious about putting a puppet in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you create life, you watch it die, and then
Yeah.
you shove your fist into it, and all of a sudden it's
breathe life into it. My creation. We are like Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr.
up in here.
Franken Google. So Jack Frost,
So Jack Frost.
1997. It was made in 19. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
It's technically made in 1994.
Oh,
That's a fun fact. Yeah.
is that account trivia?
I didn't put it in, but yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well, he didn't. So like, what you don't understand is like when we get the trivia at the end, we sit over drinks. We're sitting and chatting about the movie. What our likes, our dislikes about
We
it.
have Bloody
and we
Marys.
go through and we go. Yeah, we have Bloody Marys always.
He's drinking Mary. You're drinking.
I'm drinking Mary. I guess. Which one's drinking the bloody? Which one's drinking the Mary?
Well, no, it was.
Walks up to a couple. Which one's the bloody and which one's the Mary?
Oh, I'm
Ding,
the
bang,
bloody.
No, but we sit and talk and we go through all of the trivia that we've all collected over our many hours, just countless hours of digging into this stuff to try to find what would be best. And
don't know if that's
some of them just don't make the cut. So one of them was like, yeah, this movie was made in 1994, didn't get released until 97.
Well, that's embarrassing.
But anyway,
Cool. Sorry, I'm still
Cool
thinking
story.
about Bloody Mary. So it was directed by Michael Cooney and written by Jeremy Page and Michael Cooney.
so writer director.
So Count Trivia, actually, he came up to me while I was in the shower,
Yeah.
weirdly, and he's like,
It's a strange place for you to be.
hey, it's me, Count Trivia. Is that pretty close?
That's close enough.
I have this trivia I don't want Isaac to have. You have it.
Whoa.
And I said, thank
Whoa,
you.
what? He's going behind my back?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's terrible.
And it turns out that they didn't have a huge budget for this movie, and he kept some of it for you. We'll talk more about the budget later. But Michael Cooney, one of the writers, was basically asked to just direct the movie because they, quote, could not afford a director.
Oh, man.
So
That's so sad.
so they just had Michael Cooney do it. And he was like, okay, I
He's
guess.
like, I guess so.
I've never directed anything
it's
before.
my first day. Has he never directed anything before?
He's never even done anything else.
Oh,
he had
no.
only written stuff.
Jeez.
And then, yeah, now he's done some things, but this was kind of the end all be all.
Hold on, does that say
for
he's the
Michael Cooney.
director for the sequel as well?
Yeah, he directed the sequel as well and wrote it.
What's that called?
Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman.
What?
Yeah, have you not seen the poster?
No, I bet it looks awful. I really
It's
need to
apparently
see this
very
now.
bad. We're gonna watch it next year for
it
Christmas
looks
time.
really bad, guys.
Yeah, he's
The
got a
Revenge of
little-
he's got like sunglasses. He got sunglasses and like a lay on from flowers.
He's icing and slicing.
So he's got to be like in like Hawaii now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Are there any pictures? Please, I want to see pictures.
No, what? Okay, here's a woman.
Nah, that's nothing.
Last time I googled something on my computer, I got in trouble. So I'm
Yeah,
not
we
Googling
can't.
these anymore.
We have to be very careful about what we're not going to look
It's a
up. naked
family-friendly show
snowman.
where we say the word "fuck."
Yeah, it's a family-friendly show where we say fuck.
I mean, okay, listen, we've stopped swearing so much because we're on the YouTube now.
We're on the
which is
YouTube
kind
now,
of it's kind of popping
and the
off. Thank
TikToks.
you. I feel like this is a really good place about this. We started TikTok, started YouTube, and we've had a lot of support on there. Like
It's
a
been great.
ton of new people, ton of new listeners. So if you're new, you saw some of those platforms. Sorry, we started this episode off with singing, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And if you're into singing, you're welcome. Just gonna put that out there. But yeah, thank you so much for anybody who has tuned into our stupid little shorts that we make. It's just like any and all of that, right? It's like if someone watches and interacts with something, it's like cool. We're doing something that somebody likes.
Somebody likes
and that's
it.
really all this is about. You know, if
And
there's
that's
one of
really
you
all
that
it's
wants to
about.
sit and listen to this podcast, that's great. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for clowning around with us. You're in for a good time.
You're in for a great time.
You're in for a great time.
All right, so it was also written by Jeremy Page.
Jeremy Page,
This
and what
film.
has this page done? Has he written many pages for scripts at all?
That's pretty funny. That's something. No, because he only wrote the script for this movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, I wonder why. You think it's because it's a movie that's rated at what? Like what is it rated? Something super low, right?
You and
like
your
a
segues. I'm gonna
16%.
slap you.
No, that wasn't even a segue.
slap
That was legitimately me asking. 'cause
Rotten
I forgot.
Tomatoes as a 16% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, so that was all I'm saying. Is like he wrote a 16% like rated movie. He's probably not going to get a lot of work after this.
The audience score though was 31. So some audience members enjoyed this.
Yeah,
movie.
there was a room of people, and like 3 of them were like, "No, I kind of liked it." They didn't say they loved it. They're just like, "Yeah, it was."
This room of 11 people.
Yeah.
And one guy couldn't really make up his mind, but 7 of them were like,
No, I hated it. Ah, stupid, dumb. I'm a critic.
Letterboxd.
I plated a tomato every night.
I plated a tomato.
I plated a tomato.
I plated a tomato. Don't you remember last episode where we did that bit about the tomato guy?
Yeah, that's still canon. There's Tomato Tower, and up at the very top there's the tomato who you go to at the end of making a movie, and he hands you a tomato, a little green one.
Little green tomato.
Yeah, exactly. Then it goes rotten or fresh depending on how well your movie did.
Okay.
And you have to eat it every
And if
time.
you don't eat it, you die.
Exactly. So that's why there are some of those directors where it's like they made this movie and then nothing else again. It's because the tomato killed them. The
tomato
got
murdered them.
Yeah, exactly.
With his
because they
hands.
refused to eat their tomato. They refused to eat the rotten one. He said, "Ew, that's gross. I'm not going to touch that."
They had their carrot and tomato too.
That was terrible.
Is that anything? That was
Just reminded me that I have a carrot in my drink and I'm going to have to eat it at some point.
What you can't see is that my drink has a little carrot like poking on the top.
It's cute.
Garnished
It's
it.
very cute.
It's very cute. I thought about doing something coal, like
Oh,
the
that'd be good
eyes,
too.
or like a scarf. Thought about drenching a scarf in the drink and then sucking it out of the scarf,
Whoa, that's next level. That's drinking elevated.
but I didn't.
But you didn't do that?
No,
Maybe not this time.
Obviously, does it look like I'm sucking on a scarf right
I
now?
don't know. You could be hiding it behind you. Every time I turn my back, you turn to your side and go suck it up out of the scarf. Oh, this is gross. Tell me more about this movie.
Letterboxd at a 2.4. IMDb has a 4.7. Let's talk a little bit about the budget for this movie. We talked about it in small amounts.
Yeah, we discussed.
But no one knows
Nope.
what the budget for this movie is. It originally was supposed to have a huge budget.
Yeah, like a big boy budget with like a CGI snowman and
Whole
everything,
team.
like a lot
Yeah.
more crazy effects and action sequences going on.
And then I don't know necessarily why the budget got cut, but it did. I think the Science Gym. Hey, Science Gym, you know anything about that? No.
Contribute. Do you know anything? No, I did not write anything about that. Well, okay. So we just.
Well, I did do research, and the only thing I found was Michael Cooney in the director. he discussed the budget of a film in an interview.
Yeah.
And he said that there was a Campbell Soup's commercial it was a Let It Snow commercial where a snowman melted.
I
from eating the
remember
soup. Do you
that.
remember
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that commercial? That apparently took a very, very small budget and a small team to make.
Uh-huh.
He said that budget was triple the budget of this film.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what he said.
A commercial versus a whole movie?
Yeah, and he said it was about
Wow.
triple. Yeah.
That's good,
And
though.
then there was a movie called Identity that came out,
Mhm.
and Michael Cooney said that Jack Frost was made for the cost of that movie's catering budget.
Lord, wow. I gotta say, that's impressive to do a whole movie on that budget.
Yeah. Now, some reports are all over the place. Some people say that this movie cost like $50,000.
Mhm.
Other people say $500,000.
Mhm.
Personally, I think it was probably close to about $80,000 to $100,000
Oh, that's just
based on his jokes
Mhm.
and a catering. I kind of went a little weird with the catering budget. I was like, okay, for a $30 million movie, you got about 6 months of set. Like,
Yeah.
you're probably looking about $80,000.
Wow, look at you, professional now.
It just made sense.
Yeah, it just makes sense. You did math.
So I did actually, Will Glimpse is hiding the scenes. I tried for a while to try and find the budget of that Campbell's Soup commercial, and I was going to try and turbo. I
man.
couldn't find it anywhere.
That'd be so
I couldn't even
funny.
find any production information on it. It's a commercial from like the early 2000s. So like, what do you expect?
Isn't that commercial like the snowman is the kid? Because I
Something
feel
like that.
But I feel like I remember he's like
I didn't watch it.
He gets inside the house and then like he's a little boy sitting at the table and like snow is dripping off of him as
Yeah.
he's like turning back into a human. What the hell was that about?
I don't know, but apparently it's pretty cheap to make.
Apparently.
It makes sense. You put a little kid in a snowman.
Yeah, exactly. I can go put a kid in a snowman right now
Go
for
do
no
it.
for no
Go do it,
dollars.
coward.
All right, bye. No, I'm just
Isaac
kidding.
just left the house. He's going to go.
I
put
don't
a
know
small
any
child
children
in
or
a-
snow at the moment, so
All right, let's talk about the box office for this movie. Oh wait, it was direct to DVD.
ooh.
Can't
It
really-
felt like one. It definitely did.
Yeah, when we said when we sat down to watch this movie,
We sat down to watch the trailer for this movie. We both kind of looked at each other agape, like, are we sure
Are we
about
sure?
this? Are we sure about this?
I don't know,
But it could have been one of those ones that ended up being a fun time because it's so crazy, right?
Yeah, and personally, that's what I love about these like less good horror movies.
Yeah.
I didn't say bad.
Nope. Just less than great, you
Less
know?
than great. I really do enjoy when movies just like go out of the box and surprise me with something.
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget the ending of Ghost Ship for that reason, right?
Oh,
I think about
yeah.
that movie all the time.
Talking about all
Just
the
because of the
ghosts
end.
flying up into the
It was
sky.
crazy. It
Yeah.
was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I chase that feeling. I think that's why I like A24 movies so much.
Yeah.
Because a
Because
lot
they
of
always give you such a wild, whack ending
the
that you
last
could
10
never
minutes,
expect. Yeah.
last 10 minutes of every A24 movie is bonkers.
I know. We just need a supercut of those. The last 10 minutes of A24.
But then you don't get that build up. Like there's that movie Saint Maud. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But literally the last 2 minutes of that movie have stuck with me so much. And I chase that feeling.
For
Which
the
is
rest
why
of
I think
your
I'm
life.
here right now.
Chasing the
Because I'm-
dragon. Yeah, we're trying to find something like that. We're trying to find our Saint Maud here in the dollar bin of horror movies.
I don't know. Jack Frost gave it to me. We'll go over. We'll get to
we'll
it.
discuss.
We'll get to it.
Wait your turn. We'll be there.
Now, young man, you take a little sheet over there in the corner.
Now waiting. No old granny will bring you,
know-
your horrible review.
Can I talk to you real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Let's have a little production meeting.
Let's have an
Sidebar.
aside.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry everybody. We're
Yeah.
gonna
Don't
go
listen.
over here.
How come every time we do an old man bit, one of two things happens?
What is the two things?
Either one of us is the old man, the other person is a child, or one of us is an old man, the other one becomes an old man. Every single time.
I can't.
We do
I
it all
got
the time.
no answer
Like,
for
if
you,
I
man.
talk like this,
And
what's
then
gonna...
I'm gonna talk like this.
But then you talk like that.
And here I
Hello,
am.
it's me, Timmy.
Are you my little Timmy? I love you
But
so
I'm actually
much.
50 years old.
All right, let's try something else. Okay, I'm gonna be an old man. You do something different. It's me. I'm old Billy Bobby.
Freaking idiot.
Oh.
I'm gonna beat you up and steal your money.
Oh, I hate you, nephew. I wish your sister was still around. She
Well,
always
she's
kept
not,
you in
'cause
line.
she joined the military like you always wanted me to do.
And here you are. All you do is your
got taken
ballet
away to
all
jail
day.
again.
All you do. Where are you doing? Where are you going?
Ballet school. That's
Ballet
called
school.
jail.
Jail. See, that's where they get you.
See, vocations, which is a fancy word for jobs, are best learned in jail.
There you have it. So you can learn ballet in jail is what Derek is saying.
All you got to do is go to jail and learn a vocation.
Yeah, you don't got to do anything super serious.
Why go
Just
to
like
school
go steal a little
when
something.
you could steal
know?
a pack of gum from your local Walmart?
Yeah, exactly.
And go to jail. And then after a week in jail,
ballet,
how to kickbox.
You can kickbox. You learn how to cook.
You can be a nuclear scientist. Now, I wouldn't go as far as cooking. Actually, no, that's true. The prison in Utah actually has a bakery that you can go buy from that is like all sourced from the people in the jail.
I didn't know that.
It's super cool. I love
That's
stuff like
nuts.
that. I feel like we were kind of edging on problematic.
A little bit.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. So do we want to talk about the Rotten Tomatoes reviews? That was pretty good. It was great. Join me in the reviews. This one actually doesn't have a critics consensus. So the tomato kind of like
Ooh, can I give it
this
one? Can I give it one?
You can give it. Do you have written consent from the tomato
Do
to
you
say
see
something?
this red stain on my shirt?
Oh yeah, there it is.
That was the tomato giving me a head pat.
Oh, a head pat on your shoulder?
That's where my head is.
Okay.
The critics' consensus
I have questions,
is
but
Jack Frost was a movie that should have been a different movie, but ended up being this movie, and that is a consensus by us critics.
wow, that was beautiful. That was just like a critic had written it.
Yeah, AI generated it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I don't want it anymore.
I didn't actually. It was a joke. That was a joke.
So
I did. It was a joke.
Patrick Kavanaugh from The Wolfman Cometh. That's a pretty cool name, actually.
That's fantastic.
With a rotten review says, largely a chore to get through, with the only bright spot of the experience being that the film knows how bizarre and campy it is. Still, there are plenty of other holiday-themed horrors that are more worth your time.
Oof. Stephanie Archer says, with a positive review, at times a bad horror and at others a bad TV movie. Jack Frost is terrible from start to finish. So much it's good.
Oh? We have Brian Bisesi from Horror Movie Club Podcast says, with a fresh review, it gives you everything you want. The corny jokes, the over-the-top kills. It is a surprisingly competent movie for what it is.
Nice. Blake Davis says, there's a scene with a carrot in this one, and I believe that is a first.
What happened with a... I don't remember a scene with a carrot. What is it? A scene with a carrot. I mean, there's lots of movies that have scenes with carrots in them. I don't understand what that means. I don't remember a carrot kill. Do you remember a carrot kill?
Nope.
I don't.
I cannot remember that.
I do not care at all. So, expectations? You want to talk about those?
Did you already read 2 reviews?
Yeah, I did mine. We're done.
Oh.
We're up and in it.
Are we really there?
Yeah.
Are we there already? That's so fast.
I know.
You
We're
need a riff on?
We're quick. Let's see. What can we riff on? What's
Clack your teeth together.
What's riffable? I got these little teeth clackers. It sounds like teeth.
I hate it.
I love them so much.
really hate
They're
it.
super spooky.
Isaac's terrified of feet, and I'm terrified of teeth, and he feels the need to shove teeth in my face.
Okay, so expectations for me. I was expecting a movie that I will love to hate. Is kind of what I was expecting, just because the trailer looks so wild and corny. I'm like, it might be one of those where like it's so bad it's good kind of style.
Yeah.
What about you? Like generally?
For me, I was kind of feeling the same way, but I honestly was kind of thinking it would be another Dr. Giggles.
Really?
I thought it would be another slasher that I had just had so much fun with.
So my first formal expectation is some absolute tomfoolery nonsense. It just looked like a crazy, crazy movie that would just leave me questioning it the entire time.
I expected snow puns that would leave me shivering.
Yeah, so I literally my second one said corny snow puns galore.
Nice,
That's wild.
Nice. Creative kills was my next one.
My next one was stupid kills. How are we so in line on these ones?
Bad but funny effects.
It's kind of in a similar vein.
Yeah.
My next one was that was laughable. Calling it now. That
nice.
I had called my shot before the movie had even started.
I mean, actually, this one's pretty. I said more comical than scary.
This is so weird.
Why
How
are
are we like
expectations
right on the
lined
same
up?
page on this one? And then my final expectation was he's too much. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Guess what my next expectation was about?
What's up?
The music.
Oh man.
I just said it was going to be really silly music.
I mean, yeah, I just really wanted to go in line with the he's Mr. Snow, Jack Froster.
He's kill your fam.
Kill your fam.
He's Mr. Ice Crisper. He's Mr. Jack-O'-Lantern. He'll kill your mom with a tree and some lights.
Okay.
Bum, bum. Don't eat your Christmas tree or you'll end up dead. Bum, bum, bum. That was nothing.
He's too much. No, sorry. He's Jack Frost.
Does everybody know that out there? Do you know what we're doing?
Everyone's seen that, right? We're not just saying this to
The
nobody.
Year Without Santa Claus? Is that what it was?
I think so.
Is that what that movie is?
That's got to be what that is.
Has Mr. Snowmiser.
Actually,
So
a
they had, like-
kick-ass song.
It's like, it bops.
It kind of slaps.
hard.
It's
It
a pretty
bops
good one.
hard.
If you haven't listened to that, go listen to
I'm
it.
sure you have it. It became like a TikTok thing.
It's like
for
a
a while.
classic, holiday time movie.
I don't know why
TikTok.
every time I talk about TikTok, I become an old man.
Yeah. I think it's just because we just got acquainted with it. We're still figuring things out.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like an old man often.
So
So
let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, so the movie starts out actually in a pretty fun way. The opening titles are on ornaments. So what they do is instead of having like,
love this.
text over the screen or some kind of cool effect, what it is it's like panning down a Christmas tree and like ping-ponging between different ornaments on the tree that have like produced by so-and-so. Here's the title of the movie, cast with so-and-so, blah, blah. Here are the actors in it. It was actually like a really original, fun idea
Yeah,
that
I
I
liked
never
it a lot.
conceived. I never would have thought about.
Well, you didn't. You didn't. Go
No,
with
I
it,
did.
dude.
I didn't see it. Not
You-
me personally.
you
I
didn't
didn't
see it?
No. So there's, but once we get past that, underneath all of that is some really, really weird dialogue.
Yes.
It's an uncle telling his niece about the story of the serial killer Jack Frost, about who this movie is about, right? And so she's trying to stop him. She's like, "Uncle, no, it's too scary. I can't do this." He's like, "No, I'm going to tell you this story anyway." And she's like, "Okay." And she's all like kind of sad about it. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea.
Hey, it's me, Scrippy Scripto. I got the script for you.
Scrippy Scripto, what's up?
There you go. I don't remember. Scrippy Scripto's voice changes all the time.
Yeah, I can't remember
Hey,
either.
child, you want a happy story or a scary story?
I want a happy, scary story.
Happy, scary story?
Yeah.
Fine. Once upon a time, there lived a man by the name of Jack Frost.
Jack Frost?
That's right. Like in the song, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Only this guy did it for real. You know how regular folk get up in the morning to eat something, then hurry off to do whatever they want for the day?
Uh-huh.
Well, Jack would get up, eat something, then hurry off and kill someone. Because that's what he did. He killed people. He'd stick knives in their faces and cut out their tummies and stamp on their heads till their brains got all runny.
Uncle Henry, I don't think this is such a...
Hey, you wanted a story, you got a story.
Okay. Like, it's messed up. She, like, tries to stop him from telling this story. It's pretty awful. Do you have more?
Yeah, let's keep going. This is funny. Read this line.
But why did he hurt people?
How should I know? Maybe his mom and dad never gave him enough hugs. Or maybe they gave him too many hugs. Or maybe he just liked the color red and things that went squish when he stuck sharp points in them. It doesn't matter. The only thing that's important is that no one could catch him. Some said Jack was a ghost, that he was already dead and could walk through walls or vanish into thin air. Truth is, he never stayed in one place. Jack was smart. I could keep going.
It basically just tells you the story. So
He
really,
killed 38 people.
yeah, so what it tells you is that Jack would like travel the country killing people and then moving on to the next town. And he slipped up because he started putting them in pies. I guess he worked at like this chain pie restaurant.
Miss Puddle's Pecan Pie.
Miss Puddle's pecan pies. And so, yeah, people started finding bits of people in the pies. So that's how they ended up catching him. He was found out that way. And then started the whole like chasing him across the country trying to catch this killer.
Some say Jack got sloppy, or that deep down he wanted to be caught. Others said he made the pies taste better.
Oh. So now we cut to the car transporting the murderer Jack Frost, and he's being transported to his execution. And I like how regardless of like Christmas or anything like that, his name is Jack Frost, and we're supposed to pretend like that's a normal thing.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
Yeah. I thought it was like a name that would be given to him later on once he becomes a snowman, but no, he's just a man named Jack Frost that becomes a snowman at some point.
Can we talk about how badass of a name that is, though?
It's kind of sick, right?
Like,
I'm
if you- like,
gonna name my child Jack Frost.
Yeah, well, Jack Frost Carrillo.
Carrillo. Yeah. So in the back of the vehicle, Jack is in there, right? He's got one guard with him, and he kills him pretty quickly, and that doesn't really become anything. He just has a guard in there, kills him, just kind of to showcase this guy's crazy. He's a crazy killer.
Kooky, crazy guy.
He's like one of those guys who's obsessed with the Joker and wants to be like that.
Oh,
he's like
yeah.
a wannabe Joker
It's
type.
a fantastic film, 5 stars.
Not the movie. But oh no, here comes a big chemical truck. I hope they don't run into each other in the snowstorm and then crash.
I mean,
Jack
immediately.
escapes and he gets like so what drives up is this car that's just transporting a shitload of chemicals, right?
Yeah.
And so Jack is standing in front of it after he escapes and he just gets bursts, like the chemical truck explodes and just like douses him with all this genetic research chemical from that truck. And then he starts to burn up and then melt in the snowy ground. It's actually pretty fun. Like the practical effects on him are like getting all chemicaled up are really, really
They're
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
And they really like showcase what could happen.
Yes. It's actually like, it's kind of scary how he gets like his skin starts to melt and he's like, he's all
Yeah.
bubbly and
Oof.
nasty. And then he just kind of like disintegrates into the snow. I actually liked it. Like
I
they
like
were
the effect
fun
a lot.
effects. I don't think they were good effects, but they were fun.
No, and it did keep like going away from him and then going back. And like he was a man
Yeah.
and then he was kind of gross and then
Yes.
went back and he was more gross and then he like became a skeleton at one point.
Yeah, it
and
did
then
like
became a
it did
blood
that like
puddle.
cutting back and forth kind of thing. So I actually kind of really enjoyed it. But then his DNA mixes in with the snow, and when that happens, it like turns into a cartoon for a second, right?
Yeah, it was so silly. It felt like the beginning of Rudolph or something, where it was like going through a snowy like bank.
Yeah.
There were all these like blood vessels just getting stuck with icicles.
Yeah, it's weird. So like his blood vessels get disintegrated, turn into like snowflakes instead. So now he's
It was
mixed in
silly.
with it. I mean, this movie is so goddamn corny, but it's kind of fun. Not gonna lie.
No, and that scene kind of just like set the precedent for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Because it's definitely a movie that doesn't take itself super seriously. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
But so then we see there's a local sheriff. His name is Sam, and he has a flashback of a run-in with Jack Frost. He's actually the one that ended up apprehending him because I think he either pulled him over, right, for something.
Something.
Yeah, it actually was completely unrelated to the fact that he was killing people. He just like messed up and got pulled over by this cop, and he's the one that who took him away. And so then Jack, who just got arrested, promises to find a way to kill him and his family. So he's been having nightmares about him ever since then. He's like, I promise I'll find a way. I'll come and I'll kill your family. And it's just like haunting him the whole time. Meanwhile, they drive past the scene of the crash and are quickly ushered away. But Derek, can you tell me how this scene? It's so
like-
funny to me.
They pull up and the sheriff's like, hey, can we stop and see what's going on? And the guy's like, no. And he's like, but I'm no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then he goes, hey, what's going on here? I'm a local sheriff, sir. We're going to have to ask you away. Oh, okay. And then he just drives
Oh, okay.
off. Just a quick interaction, like no question whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny. So there's an awkward scene of like the sheriff chatting up the local townsfolk in just an incredibly awkward manner at this snowman building competition. And that's really all you need to know about that. I'm sure that won't come up at all.
It never does.
Kind of actually didn't, now that I'm thinking about it. Why
It
I thought-
seemed like it was going to.
Exactly.
But I think it was
It's-
just setting up the idea that there were going to be a bunch of snowmen.
It's a movie about a snowman, and they have a snowman building competition. They never actually utilized that.
There were a lot of those jokes that were kind of like on the nose.
Hey,
like
Derek, speaking
almost
of
meta.
great jokes in this movie,
I don't
what's
want-
the difference
No.
between snowmen and snow women?
I don't know. Was it the snowballs?
Snowballs! Whack, 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 whack.
So dumb.
There's two separate people that try to tell the sheriff that joke. It's stupid. It's not fun.
I think that someone on set thought that was a really funny joke.
Yeah.
So they're like, now throw it in. Give him another one.
Maybe someone gaslit the director. He's like, we just did that joke. They're like, no, that's not scheduled to. No, we didn't do that joke already. So yeah,
it never
do it
happened.
again. Do it again. He's gonna record it again like a dummy.
So stupid.
So the town is called Snowmonton, which is just a funny title for it. Not incredibly clever, but also clever at the same time.
It's both.
Yeah, but somebody died. Derek, somebody died. The
Yeah,
sheriff
you got
goes to
little
a scene
index card
where
that
an
says
old
somebody died.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He walks into the sheriff's station to like his secretary that's there. He's like, "Oh, who died?" Or he's like, "What happened? Did somebody die?" And then she just holds a index card up to the camera. It says, "Somebody died." It's like, okay,
silly.
movie, you're pretty funny. But so the sheriff goes to a scene where an old man has been like frozen to death and there's no signs of a struggle. Honestly, the dead body does actually look
looks great.
really good.
It looked super cool.
Like that was a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
this movie to have really good like practical things like that, like a dead corpse of an old man. But I mean, here we are. You know, sometimes they can make a less than Campbell's commercial budget work.
Camels.
Less than Campbell's commercial budget.
Can we change that commercial so that there's like a guy outside riding on his camel?
It's a snowman on a camel, or is it a man on a snow camel?
Snow camel.
Snow camel. It's like the new version of cigarettes. Yeah, we're like regular camel, but we're cold.
But we're freezing.
We're ice cold. Anyway, so now we see the FBI. The sheriff is calling in to ask questions about the Jack Frost crash because he's unsure if he's dead. Because they're like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, guys, he's dead." But he's like, I don't know. People are dying in my town now. I feel like maybe he's not dead. But Derek noticed something that was so funny about the fact that he was calling him.
He was talking in his radio in his car, and then the FBI guy was on his phone.
Yeah. So it's like he received a phone call from the police radio.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work like that.
No, it was so stupid. And the way they were talking, they were just like all, yeah, we're cool, we're high tech.
Yeah.
We can call through the radio.
So funny. But next to the agent that he's talking to, there's some nerd who knows about the chemicals that splashed onto Jack Frost when he crashed.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out about like, it wasn't never supposed to do this, but whatever it was, it appears to have worked. So like the FBI agent's like, oh, sorry, your guinea pig ended up being a homicidal maniac. And he basically like every line he says is the equivalent of like saying something and putting sunglasses on and trying to look like a badass. He's trying
so
really
stupid.
hard to be cool. But yeah, so it seems like whatever it was had some effect that did successfully work, unfortunately, just on Jack Frost, this murderer, right?
Yeah.
So now the townsfolk are all in an uproar about dead old man Harper. They all really pay attention to all this shit. So now starts the town panic, right? So someone built a snowman out in front of Sheriff Sam's house.
Sure did.
And his son goes out to finish the snowman because right now it's just the base of the snowman. It doesn't have any features on it.
And we say someone because we don't know who made this.
Yeah, did Jack Frost build it himself? Not sure.
We also need to talk about the fact that he made his dad some oatmeal.
He did. There was a scene that happened here and then a subsequent scene that like didn't feel necessary to happen this way. But what happened was his son made him like this hodgepodge of a bunch of oats and a bunch of random crazy ingredients. And he's like, here, Dad. And he's like, oh, thanks, son. Here, filled it up. Take
Fill
this
this
little
Ziploc
baggie I
bag.
got. Fill the Ziploc bag full of your shitty looking
It
oats.
will help you stay warm, Dad.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't need it, of course, because it looks like gruel. It looks terrible.
it
And
looked
then
pretty good to me.
a little bit later, there's a scene where he takes the bag and just throws it in the trash outside of the sheriff's office. But then he comes back. He's like, no, like his son. He's got like a.
He has a flashback of his son.
It like talks over him. There's like a voice over his son being like, Daddy, I made you these oats. And he's like, I can't throw away these oats. This is my son. And so he goes and grabs the oats again. So I'm like, do the oats matter? Are they going to come back? Because they've shown them twice now.
They made a real big point of those oats.
Yeah, so yeah, oats are a thing. Keep that in mind.
I forgot about it.
So his son helps finish the snowman. He puts like eyes and a carrot nose and he gives it a little mouth. And there's actually a little fun effect where the mouth starts growing these like sharp icicle teeth.
I did like this.
It was actually kind of neat. They like came in through the snow.
My only issue is at this point, you're seeing the difference between a real snowman and Jack Frost, right?
Yeah.
It was so obvious it was just felt. And they used, it was probably like asbestos, honestly. they used this like stupid fake snow that looked like, it almost looked like coconut, like shaved coconut.
Yeah, something like that.
It looked so
Yeah, it didn't look super great. So now there's this group of like sledding bullies that come over. They come up like they're this cool little gang. They're like, hey, you're in the way of our little like sledding run here. He's like, it's my dad's front lawn. Like, you better get out of the way.
Yeah, they were just rude for no reason.
Exactly. So the main bully, his name is Billy. He's Billy the bully. He pushes over. I actually don't remember the son's name. He pushes the Sam's son over, and then Jack Frost Snowman pushes him over into the line of a sled that's coming his way. And it's so. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't push him. That's not what happens. He knocks the head off of Jack Frost. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So he decapitates Jack Frost. Then Jack Frost's decapitated body. He pushes him down, and then a sled comes over and runs over his head. And in a crazy fashion, his head just like flies
Spins
through
across
the
the
air,
screen.
spins past the camera.
Which I feel is something we've seen so many times.
It's pretty crazy.
We talked about it.
Decapitation.
We talked about it. Was it last episode?
I want to say because the Wolfman had a decapitation as well.
I feel like the last like 10 movies we've watched have had a decapitation.
Something is happening. I don't know what it is, but like again, like. I know we sit here and talk about, less than great horror movies and the tropes that make them so. That is one that I will always love, and I don't understand why.
It's so corny.
It's just got such
so
crazy
fun.
shock factor, and I think it's just like so out of like it would take a lot to take a person's head off in like one swing like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just like the ridiculous campiness of it that makes me love it so much. I love when decapitation happens.
I mean,
movies.
we watched the movie The Conference on Netflix.
Yes.
And one of the kills in that movie was a shovel taking someone's head off.
And it was like a novelty, like golden shovel too. Like,
Yeah.
like there's
But it
no
was
way
no way it
that
was sharp
has
enough.
a sharp edge on it. Let alone could a person have enough driving force to take a person's head off. But did I love it any less?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Oh,
not. I
it was
loved
fantastic.
it. It was
I loved it.
hilarious. It's so good.
So fun.
So anyway, if you're an aspiring horror filmmaker out there, put a decapitation in. It's pretty funny, and it usually always works.
It usually always works.
So now Billy the bully's dad, he's grieving out in front of his house. He's like, oh, my son just died and I'm pissed about it, blah, blah. And he's like smoking out in front of his house. Then he's taunted by Jack Frost, who can now talk. He hasn't talked up until this point.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah, and he's trying so hard to be like the funny serial killer, like trying to add these like quips and one-liners and stuff. Like he's like, hey, can you give me a smoke? Because that's what he said in the back of the truck before he crashed. So yeah, the snowman is right here in front of him and he thinks nothing of it, even though Sheriff Sam's son did say, no, I didn't kill your son. The snowman did it. So like you'd imagine he'd be a little bit creeped out about the fact that there's a random snowman in front of his house. Because it's like, he didn't build that snowman.
He didn't build that snowman.
He's not bothered by it at all, I guess.
No.
He's like,
I was hoping Michael Keaton would come out of that snowman. But
he's literally like circling around it. He's like, where are you, you jerk? And he's like holding an axe in his hands. Like, I'm gonna get you. But then Jack takes the axe out of his hand and just shoves it deep into his throat.
oh yeah, not from the blade.
No.
He shoves the handle down his throat.
I was really expecting to get like an axe chop kill. Instead, he goes for the blunt side straight down, and it's like more than half of the handle down in his body.
Gosh, I only axed you for a smoke.
Oh my god, I forget. Yeah, there's some. Please keep those coming because they're so terrible but kind of funny.
I love them.
So now Jack's inside the house. And he finds his wife, so he wraps string lights around her throat and then smashes her face into a box of ornaments, which like pierce into her face. They're like that kind that are like that brittle kind of plastic that are sharp.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're glass. I don't know. Maybe she's fancy.
I mean, maybe not all of us. At least as a kid, we would decorate our tree with those. And I remember those breaking.
Yeah, exactly. You
in my
drop it
skin.
and it makes a big mess, right? So he even starts by like putting one in her mouth and then smashing her jaw into it so she like bites it. Ugh, that hurts to
Not
think about,
fun.
honestly. But it was a completely ridiculous kill, and she kind of just sat there and let it happen. What was really funny though is like the snowman. It's obvious that the snowman was like more of a statue than an actual movable like suit that you could wear. Because really, if you ever saw the snowman as a whole, all it would do is its head would move, and then there were other sequences where you could see its arms moving separate and the head. So like it was clear that they had like arms that could detach or like separate arms that they could use to move stuff. But while Jack Frost is like wrapping this lady around, there's just shots of his arm flying across the screen.
It's like a windshield wiper.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Back
like
and
woo,
forth.
flies across. It just looks really funny. But
dumb.
it was really ridiculous. There's actually another towns member who walks into their house and sees this crime and then runs away. So there's at least one person who knows that there's a snowman killing everybody.
Yeah.
So now the FBI agents are here. The main agent, his name is Manners. Agent Manners is kind of an asshole.
He's stupid.
He has, for lack of a better word, he has no manners, and he's trying really hard to be a badass. They're at the scene of the crime and they scan the puddle of water that was left by Jack, and they discover that it can freeze and unfreeze at will. And there was actually a really cool camera effect that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really like this.
This.
They must have had the camera underneath some kind of like clear container of water, because it was like the camera was looking up through a puddly like watery substance, and
Yeah,
they
that
like
was
dip
really
their
fun.
scanner thing in it. I actually thought it was a really cool effect.
Yeah.
And then before they leave, the water freezes over the whole screen. I'm like, that's actually kind of a fun effect. I really like that.
Yeah,
Again,
that was cool.
wasn't expecting that kind of like creativeness.
Definitely
from
not
this
from
movie.
this.
So the FBI's here. They're going to handle the case, and now the town needs a curfew. So they're holding a town meeting to tell all the townsfolk about the curfew. And then his name is Paul. He was the guy who witnessed the murder. Is running in, yelling about killer snowmen, and then the agent asshole just like knocks him out and tells Sam to get his town in line. So now we have like this little feud between like Sheriff Sam and his town, and the stupid agent who comes in, and they're like, they're kind of at odds the whole time. But then they send another cop to go check out the disturbances, and Jack Frost is standing in front of his car with a stop sign.
Yeah,
he's like,
this.
hey, no, you can't pass here. He's got one of those like little like crossing guard signs. It's actually really funny. So he stops in front of it. He's like, okay. So he like, I don't know why he goes to the back of his car. He like goes to his trunk for something. But then as he's going to his trunk, Jack Frost melts into a puddle and then like waters his way into the car and then reforms so he's in the driver's seat.
It looked
and then
fun.
he just backs the car up and then runs over him and then drives forward against it. Like he drives over him twice. Jack Frost is creative.
He's vicious
I'll
and
give him
creative.
that. He's a vicious killer. So then there's a scene where there are these two teens who have been horny the whole
horrible.
movie. They finally have a moment alone. And okay, this actually was kind of funny. We get a very long sequence of them stripping off their many layers of snow clothing.
I like this a lot.
I don't remember remember how long it was, but it was a very long sequence.
It was just the idea that they're super, super cold.
Yes.
Right? They're wearing 20 layers.
Yes.
It's going to take a while.
Exactly. And
But-
it's set to some awfully fitting jazzy Christmas music, but it was super corny.
We should mention, though, that the girl is Shannon Elizabeth. who
Shannon
has been in this
Elizabeth.
a lot now.
Yes.
I mean, she's famous for American Pie and Scary Movie, but she was also in Cursed.
Yep.
And she was also in what's
it
the other
13
one?
Ghosts, I
13
think?
Ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was actually her movie debut. So
Wowzers.
kind of fun.
Welcome to the fold, Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll survive to the end of this movie. So Jack makes his way into the house, and there's one of the two teens. His name is Tommy. He stabs him a bunch with like this ice pick, and then Jack just shoots these like icicle projectiles at him,
I know,
which
he's
again,
got weapons.
didn't know he had that at his disposal.
He
You know,
leveled up.
so first he shoots Tommy like into the door, like pinning him in place, and then through the brain.
Yeah, man.
Like straight in the middle of his forehead. And it was actually kind of gnarly
was pretty
because it
brutal.
shows it shoot through the other side of like the door that he's in front of, and it like slowly pulls itself out, and like there's like pulsing stuff on the inside of it. It was kind of gnarly.
But what I liked about this is the poster on the other side of the wall said
Yeah.
like it warms your heart, and then it seemed like a heart beating.
Exactly. It was actually
it was really cool.
kind of liked it again.
I liked it.
So yeah, now Tommy's dead. Now Jill, the girl played by Shannon Elizabeth, there's suddenly a bath for her upstairs. She's like, "Oh, thanks, Tommy, for drawing me this bath out of nowhere."
Yeah.
It's clearly no bath at all, but a melted Jack Frost filling it up,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Which I didn't know he could change the temperature of his body, because at first she gets in it and it's like all nice and warm, no problem.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she's
it was like steaming.
yeah, exactly. And she's like, "Oh no, don't add cold water. Oh, now it's freezing." And then like a carrot bobs up to the surface of the water, and then the water starts to freeze into like a slushy material until Jack Frost rises out of the water holding on to her body, and he's just like rocking back and forth. I don't understand how that kills a person, but she dies anyway.
I mean, he was like kind of slamming her against the wall.
Yeah, there were a couple shots where he like headbutted her, and you could hear the like thunk as he hit his head against hers.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know snow was hard like that. I guess it can be, but yeah. So she dies. He like drops her body onto the ground, and then she's like blood
comes out of her mouth.
slowly comes out. Yeah. So there's another kill under Jack Frost's belt.
Yep.
So there's a snowstorm coming in now. So now the FBI's backup can't come in to help. So now they kind of have to deal with it on their own, right?
Yeah.
And the other agent, the chemical one, I actually don't remember his name. He lets it slip that conventional weapons won't be of any use. So the two of them have kind of been secretive about the information they know about Jack
Yeah.
Frost.
But they obviously know what's going on.
Exactly.
It's a stupid like undercover government trope. that you
Exactly.
see in these movies all the time.
So then Jack makes an appearance at the sheriff's office. So now it's confirmed to everyone that there's a wild snowman on the loose.
Yep.
And then so it's actually kind of fun how it happens. Like, so Jack Frost can melt, turn into water, and then seep in through like the little cracks in a doorway, right?
Yeah.
So he starts leaking into the sheriff's office and then freezes into the snowman form.
What I liked about this effect, though, is the water would like seep slowly under the door, but then on the cracks on the side of the door, they like sprayed a hose through it.
It was not a slow process for
So,
the
like,
other
Jack,
parts of it.
I like to imagine Jack Frost like leaning up against the door and just like his body melting and exploding through the door.
Yeah, I like to imagine it's not like cool superhero effect where he just like melts into a puddle and forms again. It's like a slow process of him like pushing against the door, or he's sitting there like pushing real hard trying to sneak in through the doorway.
I'm gonna come get you.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'm almost there.
Stay frosty. I'm coming.
So with quick thinking, Sam grabs a hairdryer because his secretary was like doing her hair at her desk. So there's just a hairdryer right there, and he takes it, points it at the snowman, and finds out that's actually one of his weaknesses. Because then Jack's like, "Oh no, what are you doing? I can't." So then their genius idea is to start filling the place with like aerosol gases
This was so
to blow
stupid.
it up. I'm like, it's your job place. It's your workstation.
Yeah.
Why are you just gonna blow that up willy-nilly? Aren't there other things you could do?
So, well, I'll have Science Jim talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. Take the floor, Science Jim. And
Come on in,
now,
buddy.
ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome to the floor, Science Jim? It's okay. Hey, it's going to be all right. You're going to be okay.
Existence is pain. Why do you let me come onto this podcast?
What do you have to say? You've been compelled to come to us. What is it, little boy?
I did a test.
Uh-huh.
I released a bunch of bug spray and hairspray into the room next door.
Oh,
just to
Science
see,
Jim? You
just to
got to
see what
okay
would
that with
happen.
us if you're going to be putting a bunch of gas in the room. Oh,
and
no.
then I lit a match.
Uh-huh.
I lit a match.
Why would you do that?
Just to see what would happen.
And what happened?
And let me tell you, I'm completely fine. See how I'm completely fine?
Oh, nothing happened?
Yeah, I went to the hospital for a couple days, but I'm actually pretty cool. So, fun fact: the chemicals they were using in this movie aren't actually strong enough on their own to do anything.
That makes sense, honestly.
And based on the way it looked, with that way they like duct taped the top of the thing.
Yeah, because that's how they do it. In order to fill the room with gas, they just like duct tape over the top of it so it keeps spraying.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
You know how they did that. Anyway, yeah, so in my research, it doesn't look like those chemicals would be strong enough to even really cause harm. Now, that being said, if you had that in your lungs for a prolonged period of time, it could cause lasting breathing problems.
Okay.
But that's about it.
So they're going to give Jack Frost breathing problems with his
Jack
snow
Frost
lungs.
is going to get a little uncomfortable.
That makes
He's gonna
sense.
Be coughing. In his coffin.
He's coughing in his coffin. I'm so proud of you. What a good pun. So what's funny is they're trying to run away from Jack Frost right now, right? They're trying to fill the whole place with gases, and they're down this long hallway that's got all their like jail cells on it. And at the end of the hallway, there's a window. It's like a sliding window, and they just put a padlock in the middle of it. Like that's
weak padlock.
That's not going to lock that window. That's not how they work.
I'm positive they decided to do this scene, went to the local like gas station,
Yeah.
bought the cheapest padlock they could
Well,
because they
they're
were
on their
already
shoestring
way over
budget.
budget.
Yeah.
So they but they could have easily just broken this window. They're blowing up the building anyway in their brain. So like why not just break the window?
Exactly, right? Like you would have gotten out so much faster if you just decided to break that window instead. But no, they have to sit there. There's a whole long scene of them. They're like, "Oh no, where are the keys?" It's on the other end of the hallway in the door that they locked Jack Frost out with, right?
Yeah.
So also Paul is in there, the guy that was crazy because he saw the snowman, he was screaming about it. So they let him out, and then they go like it's not even worth mentioning. It's just too long of them trying to get the keys, and they're like, "No, not that one. No, that's the wrong key. No, come on, it's that. Okay, let's get out of here."
And the whole scene just took so long.
And so then they finally unlock the window, which it wasn't actually locked at all. They slide it open. Then there's a long process again of them all trying to climb out of this small window.
Yeah.
But they do manage to escape, and then they just shoot into the building, which causes it to explode like crazy. Science Jim says that science doesn't back it up, but here we are.
Well, also, I mean, not to take Science Jim's thunder, but like think about it, right? There's tons of space for that air to leave.
It would take so
they had like
much.
5 cans.
Exactly.
Like
they went into
5
like the
cans of
supply closet
aerosol.
to get these cans. There could not have been that many.
Like a couple things of hairspray and the bug spray. And like, even if the fumes themselves wouldn't cause damage, there are stuff in there that would just make you pass out.
Yeah, exactly. And they were in that room for a long time. There's like one shot where Sheriff Sam's like covering his mouth with a scarf, and it's still like he stops after a minute.
No, he doesn't care. And I liked this though. Well, not in like a good way, but I thought it was funny. Like every once in a while, it seemed like they forgot there was supposed to be mist in there.
Yeah.
So like there'd be like a little wisp of smoke.
Yeah, every so often the room would fill up a little bit more, and then it would die down. They're like, "Oh right,
Oh,
So
right.
Put the mist in there. Put the mist in there."
Aerosol. It was dumb.
So Jack, unfortunately, is not defeated in this method. He rebuilds himself into like this like Picasso-esque shape. Do you remember what he says
Hey,
here?
Ma, look, I'm a Picasso.
Yeah, he's so funny. He's so
Oh
funny,
my gosh,
Jack
he's so
Frost.
charming.
Oh, he's
I'm gonna
so
be like
cold
one of those
and funny.
girls on the internet who's obsessed with serial killers. Oh, Jack
Frost.
Ooh,
It is
help
kind of
me.
funny though. They just like rearranged the snowman build of him, and he's like, "Give me a second. I'll fix this up. Don't worry. I'll get you guys in a second," or something like that.
That was so stupid.
So then now Sam is interrogating the suspicious agent, the chemical one. So he finds out that this guy's the one that made the chemical that turned Jack Frost into the snow.
Yep.
And he's talking about how like this is proof that the soul exists, right? Because he's like, this chemical was made to like resurrect people after death, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
but don't you understand? It hasn't just taken on his DNA, it's taken on his personality. So he's talking about like, this is proof that the soul exists. The soul is chemical, blah, blah. So he doesn't want to destroy this invaluable proof of his work.
Yeah.
So he has no idea how to stop it, though. He's absolutely no help. He suggests they try to like contain it. And so they're like, okay, we're going to put him into the big furnace that's underneath town hall. And then that's going to do it.
That's
right?
going to do it.
And we're like, okay, sure.
I mean, I was with it. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that actually makes sense.
Yeah,
You
because
just
then they're
put
like,
'em in there.
because
Put them in a watertight container.
exactly. And the scientist was like, oh yeah, well I suppose maybe if you get him like in that contained vessel with like temperatures that high, it may destroy
Yeah.
the cells or something like that. So then they put their plan into effect, right? So now they're standing in front of town hall, and Jack is a giant snowball,
Yeah.
and he rolls through them. Do you remember the shitty line they say here?
I don't.
They're like they all dodge out of the way.
Yeah, there's like a 5-9 split.
It's like
or
you got a
something.
7-10 split
That's
or
what it
something.
was, yeah.
It was so stupid. So then all of the townsfolk start attacking him with hair dryers, and in no time at all, suddenly they've backed him because like they hold the hair dryers to him, and he's like, "Oh no!" He's backing away from them.
no!
Then they're just suddenly down in the
Hair
basement with the
dryers.
furnace, and they just blow dry him until he's into the furnace. Close it up, and it's like, okay, job well done.
Job done. I thought the movie was going to end here.
I thought so too. I really thought, I'm like, there's no way that can happen. I even wrote, like, that was such a quick scene. The build-up was way longer than the actual setup and execution was. And then
ridiculous.
I think the sheriff is the one that says, we iced him. Oh,
him.
God, so corny. I hate it.
great.
But then, as the two agents, the FBI agents, are standing in front of the furnace, there's steam coming up out of the furnace. So it's like, he just turned into steam. So then he forms into snowman version again behind the FBI agents, and then he just chomps into one of them with his icicle teeth. It was such a cheesy looking puppet, but it was fun.
I liked it. It looked like the inside of Kermit's mouth.
Yeah.
With just like a bunch of white teeth.
Exactly. Yeah, they just put a bunch of icicles around the rim of his
was
mouth.
fun.
I really liked it. But then he goes and kills the other agent too, but not actually. I thought he killed him. Then the agent starts walking out of the building like he's like filled to the brim with a bunch of snow. Like it looks very uncomfortable. A good performance from this man, honestly.
I liked it.
Because then he walks outside and Sam looks at him suspicious and he just goes, oh well, and then throws up all of the snow from inside of him.
This was fun because you could like kind of see the hose that
Behind
was on
him.
the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
was
it's like
spewing out
right.
the
It's like when
snow.
you do that thing where it's like, oh yeah, I love this food, nom nom nom, and you like put it behind your mouth instead of
you put
actually
it in your
eating it.
shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those. So then Jack is back again. He starts chasing after Sheriff Sam and his son, and then he throws the bag of his son's homemade oats. Remember those? He throws them in his face, and it actually successfully hurts him.
Yeah.
And so he turns to his son. He's like, son, I love you, son. What did you put in those oats? He's like, oh, I put this and that. He's like, is that all? He's like, antifreeze. Like, you were going to kill your father, little boy. You wanted him to eat these. But there it is. There's your Chekhov's oats. It's because Chekhov's antifreeze oats, because that's the antifreeze is the answer. Which honestly, kind of fun.
I liked it.
I kind of liked that
it
idea.
a lot. It makes sense.
So now their new idea is he's like, hey, go over to the hardware store, get all of the antifreeze you can, and make a pool of it in the back of a pickup truck. And like, this movie is insane, but kind of fun.
I liked it. I liked the idea that they're in the writer's room. And they're
Yes.
like, what is the craziest way we can
Yeah,
end
exactly.
this?
Fire's not going to work. No way. That's too easy. What can we
Too
do? Put them in
easy.
the
Two
furnace?
hair
No,
dryers?
too easy.
No. Well, let's fill a bed with antifreeze.
And it's the anti-him.
Oh my
Anti-snow,
God.
anti-freeze.
It was great.
And he was actually just he was on the phone. They're in the writer's room. And he's like, oh, what's up? Oh, what's up, Aunt Freeze? No, I'm just in the writer's room. Nothing big's going on.
Oh my God.
Like, wait, say that again. I'm in the writer's room. No, before that. Aunt Freeze, anti-freeze. That's it. We've done it. It's incredible.
Incredible.
So I have to mention the antifreeze. It melted Jack in kind of a cool way. For some
Yeah,
reason,
he
the
looked
antifreeze
really cool.
like turned his snow into flesh.
Yeah.
So now he's got this like goopy, bloody organ type materials like sticking out of half of his head, and they're pulsing. They're bloody. I really liked it. It looks kind of good. So now Sam is trying to lure him away, like getting him set up for this antifreeze pool in the truck of the bed trick, I guess. So while they're in like a house or something, Jack pins Sam against a wall and like slowly stabs into him with an icicle stretching out from his body, which I thought would have killed him.
I thought would have killed him, one. And two, I was like thinking he was doing it as like a trick.
Yeah.
Because he was letting him stab
exactly, right? I'm like, okay, obviously he's biding time or something like that, but no, he kind of just took it. I don't really know what was supposed to happen there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then Sam rams into Jack and runs out of the window, because they're on like the second floor at this point, landing into the antifreeze pool. It's actually a pretty wild stunt of them smashing out of a window, landing into the bed of a truck.
And then they just take a full-on swim.
Yeah,
My man is covered in antifreeze.
Yeah, Jack dies in a crazy flurry of splashes clothes and fleshy snow. And then there's an arm that fell out of the truck bed and it wraps around his son's head.
Yeah.
And then they like baptize him in antifreeze,
Yeah.
quickly solving that problem. Like it wasn't really an issue at all. They fixed it pretty quick.
Hey guys, can I talk real quick?
No, I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
they rolled around in a bunch of antifreeze.
Yeah.
That can't be good for
No.
like the human
No.
body, right?
No, it's not good at all.
It doesn't sound good. It
Oh
sounds
my
really bad.
Goodness gracious. Oh,
Tell me about it.
I'm upset.
Did you do an experiment with antifreeze?
No.
Okay, good.
Because I'm not an idiot.
Well, yeah, you're a scientist. Well, you're not really a
Well.
scientist, but
You don't need to know what I did with antifreeze.
I'm not going to ask.
My
I'm not going to ask.
My antifreeze is gone. Just kidding. Okay, I'm actually going to let Derek talk about this because it's a little serious.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we did some research on antifreeze.
Here at That Was Horrible, we do our research sometimes.
Well, some more now
More
than we did
often-
like 15 episodes
Yeah, and more
ago.
often than not, we try.
So there's a bunch of different chemicals that can be used to create antifreeze.
Yeah.
But the most common one is
Mhm.
ethylene glycol.
Mhm.
It is extremely toxic to mammals, like extremely toxic. Here's the
Makes
other
sense.
problem with it. It's extremely sweet.
Oh.
So the chemical in it smells and tastes very good.
Oh, no.
It's not a good thing.
No,
So
yeah, that
it's actually
sounds
really
bad.
dangerous, and people will come up like kids will like drink it because they think it's like a juice or something.
Yeah.
Right? But what ends up happening if it gets into your system is it slowly starts to slow down your heart, and then it
Uh-huh.
attacks your kidneys, and then eventually just kills you.
Okay, so drinking it, very, very bad.
Yeah. Every year there's about 7 deaths on average
Jeez,
from antifreeze.
that's
poisoning.
terrible.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
So does anything happen like to your skin? Like because they were rolling around in it.
No, and that's another problem with it,
Mhm.
right? It's only orally dangerous, but if you're swimming in it, like
Yeah.
they did in this movie,
Like you have to
you're gonna
ingest
get
some
some
of
in
it,
your mouth.
especially if you're sitting there splashing around with a snowman.
But not count trivia. Science Jim has a little tip for you if you ever accidentally swallow antifreeze.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's me, Science Jim. So if you ever drink antifreeze, which you shouldn't, but please don't drink antifreeze. for the
Whatever you
love of
do.
God. But if you do, get drunk.
Get drunk.
Just
Why
get-
should I get drunk?
Get plastered.
Before or after?
It doesn't matter. So there's a chemical in antifreeze that it basically gets stopped by
Alcohol?
alcohol.
Wow.
So yeah, they say if you can't get to the hospital, if you're taking a long time to get to the hospital or whatever, for whatever reason, drink alcohol and then go to the
Wild.
hospital.
I think you told me there was a story, right, about a guy who got super drunk,
Yes.
accidentally
Yes.
took antifreeze and he was fine.
Yes.
Because there's so much in his system.
Yeah, so that story, this guy got like blazing drunk. He was drinking whatever he could find. And then later on, he found the bottle of antifreeze, found out he had done a couple shots of antifreeze
Yep.
with his alcohol, but had no effects. But
I mean, this man must have been very drunk if he's like, oh, here we go, taking another shot. Oh, it's antifreeze. Who knows?
But that doesn't mean go drink antifreeze. 'cause
Don't
it can
do
still,
it.
It can still cause problems with the alcohol.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
It just slows the effects.
Hey, guys,
that guy just
don't-
got really lucky.
Don't drink antifreeze. Bottom line.
Don't swim in antifreeze either. Well, and here's the thing: that gets in your skin. That's going to cause irritation. That's gonna be
Exactly.
very, very
Can't
bad.
be good. No way, no how.
So anyway, I'm on my high horse about not antifreeze.
So now they put all the antifreeze back into their respective bottles and then they bury all of them so that they're safe completely, right? So now like underground we see these Jack infused bottles of antifreeze and it starts to bubble up from beneath. It's like, okay, maybe Jack Frost will return someday. And I guess he did because they made a sequel to the movie.
Yep.
But yeah, it was kind of fun. They had like the underground shot with
I
like
actually really
green
liked that.
lights in the bottles. I actually really liked it.
Did you know that antifreeze is dyed glowing green so you can see it in the dark?
What? Is that real?
Yeah.
No, you're messing with me.
That's true.
That's actually really cool. I didn't know
Because like
that.
it was for truckers when they're checking their chemicals
Oh,
in their
okay.
trucks. They wanted to be able to see it, so it's green.
That makes sense. So anyway, that was Jack Frost from 1997, not the Michael Keaton movie from 1998.
Yeah,
We
Michael
finished
Keaton
it.
never showed up.
Nah, he never. I was
In
really
that
hoping. I was
movie-
holding out for a hero.
There were 11 kills.
And they were kind of fun, not gonna lie. It was kind of a good time.
I liked
So
them.
should we talk about our expectation results?
Yeah, man.
So I said absolute tomfoolery, and that was correct in
Yeah,
every sense of the
every
word.
sense
It
of the
was
word.
just nonsense.
Yep. Shivering snow puns. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't even talk about them all, but they were almost
Rampant
too
throughout.
much, honestly.
Honestly, though, I wonder if we could probably find just like little quips from Jack Frost here.
Yeah.
Here's one. Tommy, the teen who died after getting shot through the head. So Tommy says, "I said, who's there?" And then Jack Frost hits Tommy and then enters the house. "Well, it ain't fucking Frosty."
Yeah.
This is one of them.
And again, what the hell are you? The world's most pissed off snow cone.
Yep. Let's see. Are there any other fun ones?
No.
Jack's head flying through the air says, "I can see your house from up here." That's not necessarily a snow pun. It was just kind of a stupid one.
It was funny.
But anyway, yeah, there are a lot of stupid. He gets hit by a truck and says, "Somebody get the number of that truck." He's so dumb.
It's so stupid.
Why did we watch this movie? So I said corny snow puns galore, and they were mostly tastefully done, honestly,
Yeah.
but definitely rampant through the movie.
Oh, yeah,
but it definitely
nonstop.
like they made my eyes roll, but in like a fun, loving way, you know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wasn't upset about them like I thought I was gonna be.
For sure.
Mhm.
And then creative kills. Yes.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with
Totally.
the kills in this movie. Like, especially the one in the with the lady in the tree.
Yes,
Like that was so long.
That was such a
and
production.
unexpected,
That
but
whole
yeah,
kill.
It felt like a lot like the Final Destination kill with the teacher
Yes.
who was like constantly going through
Leaving
like
this
the Rube
trail.
Goldberg's machine.
Yes, exactly.
That was fun.
I wrote stupid kills, and I think the kills were actually the best part of the movie.
Oh, 100%.
Like, no joke, they were very, very good.
Bad but funny effects. Oh yeah, the effects when Jack Frost were so rough, but they always made me laugh.
Exactly. They worked, you know?
It wasn't like a groan, like "oh, this is so bad."
Exactly
it was like,
right.
"Oh, this is funny."
Honestly, there were often times I'm like, I prefer this over if they had tried to do it CGI.
Yes.
Because there's a charm that comes with those practical effects and like making it work when you do not have the budget to do anything else. I
For
think
sure.
magic happens there.
Yeah.
I said that was laughable, and you'll see.
You'll see.
Could be. Give me like 3 minutes.
More comical than scary, definitely. This
Yes.
movie was a comedy. I spent
Absolutely.
the whole movie laughing.
I mean, and it is listed as such, right? It is a horror comedy.
yeah.
But it made me chuckle quite a bit. And then I said, "He's too much." Ba-da-ba-ba. And yeah, that was a lot. Just
Yeah.
completely accurate.
I mean, the music was my next expectation, and we didn't really talk about the music at all because there wasn't a lot to talk about.
Not
But there
really.
were some shining stars.
Yes.
Specifically, so when that kid died, when his head got cut off,
Yes.
they were playing. I think it was it was "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen," but it was in a minor.
It's
key.
always like a somber minor key. They do that later on too with Silent Night
Yeah.
too. It worked.
It
It's
worked. It
Stupid,
was
but it's funny.
Fun. I
Yeah.
really liked it.
So for surprises, my first surprise was just the ways that they were able to manipulate their Jack Frost snowman puppet. Like I mentioned earlier, it was obviously a mostly like stagnant statue that could move its head at best, but the ways that they shot around that with the use of like separate arms and a head that they could do stuff with, because it did have like a puppet head you could move the mouth for, and it made it work for the movie. I actually really liked it, and like that had a decent amount of charm for it. And it's like, you know, you don't always have to have to show the whole snowman to make it work for us, right? So I
Yeah.
honestly think it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
I really liked those POV shots from the puddles. I thought that was a fun camera trick that I wasn't expecting, especially since they did it like a couple times. It wasn't just the one time. I thought the kills were a really fun time. I was expecting those to be a lot worse and not so fun, but they did really well with them. And then the antifreeze solution was pretty original, though the way that came about was bizarre.
And that if he had actually eaten that thing from its son, he would have died.
He would have absolutely died.
or
yeah.
at least gone blind and lost his kidneys.
So kind of a wild way for them to bring it up, but I thought it was a fun thing. And then my final surprise was just that some of the effects actually looked pretty good. Like the corpses, the way he melted at the beginning of the movie, like shockingly decent. Like
Yeah.
they did good with it.
Surprises for me, the Silent Night. And then the God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Yes.
I really liked that. It caught me off guard, and it was just very, very funny. The fun ways they killed people, just
It was unique.
Yeah,
it was great.
incredibly.
I want to see the second one because it's by the same director.
I'm not kidding. I would watch it.
I mean, we'll watch it next year.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Christmas
do
again.
it for sure.
And then the practical effects surprisingly good.
Right?
Surprisingly good. I mean, the suit, it's like you were talking about. It wasn't like fantastic, but it was effective.
Mhm.
It was good.
It got the job done.
The shots of like the water, and then there was one of snow melting. I love the effect of like water becoming its frozen self again.
Yes, that's right. It was
They played
immediately
that one
after
a couple times.
It was immediately after the building exploded.
Yeah.
And it was clear that they had like put snow on the ground, melted it, and then played the shot backwards, so it like rebuilt itself. It was pretty fun. I like
Those are my
that.
surprises.
So verdicts here. So as you can probably assume, I said that was laughable. It's like laughable, like honorable mentions. Like it's I liked it. I think I did.
Yeah.
I thought it was laughable. I would not recommend this movie to watch if you want to watch a very good horror movie, but if you want to watch a ridiculous horror movie to laugh at with your friends, I'd give this a snowy 2 thumbs up, just because the concept is enough to keep you entertained throughout, but the best part comes in its unintended hilarity.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it worked. It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think it was definitely laughable. It was fun with friends. Like, the concept was fun, and also just like it kept you guessing. It wasn't slow, so like there was never a time where I was like, ugh, I'm gonna fall asleep, this is so boring.
Yeah, exactly. Like it kept you entertained
I was
throughout.
always waiting for something else to happen. I knew something weird and wacky was coming at the end. The antifreeze, whatever you want to call it, reveal made it all kind of worth it for me.
Totally. Blah blah, it is me.
up,
Or is it
Count
oh
Trev?
oh oh for you guys? I don't know, maybe. But I have your trivia.
What does that even mean?
You said it at the beginning of the episode. Remember?
Oh, you were listening.
I always listen. Look at my big ears. Do you think I don't listen all the time?
I don't think you ever
Sheesh.
listen.
Anyway,
Hey, Count
I have your
Trivia.
trivia for you. So
Hey, Count Trivia.
Here you go.
Hey,
What?
Count Trivia.
Yeah.
Tell me a joke.
A joke?
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. A snowman walks into a bar.
What does he say?
I'll have a blood light. No, that's mine. Damn, I don't have any jokes that aren't vampire jokes. You don't understand.
light?
It's a blood light.
That's really good.
Thank you. That is my time, and I'll be going now.
You always kick Count Trivia out so quick.
Sorry.
I love him. I want him to be around more often.
You can chill here with me. So, writer, director Michael Cooney did the voice of the man who tells that story of Jack Frost over the
God,
opening
really?
credits.
That's
And then
funny.
Marcia Clark, who plays the dispatcher secretary at the sheriff's office, she's the one who did the voice of the little
We
girl.
totally called that. It was
Yeah.
obviously an old woman.
It was clearly an adult woman trying to be a child. And then the movie was shot in the winter during a drought year. So actually, there was no snow on the ground whatsoever. According to actor Scott McDonald, the temperature got as high as 70 degrees. Foam and cotton swabs had to be used as snow substitutes.
cotton swab.
Yep.
Actually,
yeah. Foam
you
and
can
cotton
totally
swabs.
see it.
Yep. It was shot in 18 days.
Nice.
So this is actually kind of cute. The stunt sequence with Sam and Jack falling out of the window and into the back of the pickup truck was done in a single take.
Nice.
Practically done. One take. One
I
take
mean,
wonders.
they probably broke that window and couldn't afford to fix
yeah,
it. So.
exactly. They're like, listen, guys. I know you're a stuntman. You're a professional. Don't fuck it up.
You have
we
one
have one window. We can barely afford to fix the one. It's a really shitty window. The next one we have to replace it.
Nice.
The one actor who read for the role of Jack Frost pulled a knife at his audition.
What?
Yeah, I assume he did not get the role. The film was initially going to be an action thriller set in a much bigger city with a CGI Jack Frost, directed by Rennie Harlin, with a $25 to $30 million budget.
Oh my God.
Yeah, didn't end up being the case.
I looked up Rennie Harlan. Who hang on.
Yeah, what else has he done here? Anything of interest?
Not
Doesn't
really.
look a lot of movies, but nothing
Yeah,
super
he did
good.
Die Hard 2. I don't
Okay,
know if
well, there's
was
that.
good. Cutthroat Island, Cliffhanger.
No, never heard of him.
Not really.
So, next bit of trivia: writer/director Michael Cooney first got the idea for the story in 1989 when he stayed with one of his friends. Stayed with his friends one time in a cabin up in Big Bear, where the film was shot. They built a snowman in the backyard that happened to look kind of spooky, especially at night. And one of the friends told Cooney the next morning that she couldn't sleep because the spooky-looking snowman was right outside of her window. So shortly after, they started talking about making a movie about killer snowmen.
That's so great.
Isn't that kind of cool?
I love that.
Again, I love finding out things have like such simple origin stories like
Yeah,
that.
me
It's like,
too.
yeah, it just came about because of something like that.
Yeah.
And then the last bit of trivia here is there was originally going to be a regular opening title sequence for the film, but after the budget decreased, they couldn't afford to create one. So that's how they came up with the idea of the film, the Christmas ornaments being the titles instead.
But it's so clever.
I loved it so much more than
so
if they'd done a
clever.
regular one. So yeah, I thought it was super cool. So yeah, that is our trivia. So Derek, you did this to me. Now
Okay.
I have to do it to you.
Okay.
I got 2 movies for you.
Ooh.
Would you rather see some really messed up Christmas elves, or would you rather see a man pretending to be a Santa Claus type and going on a killing rampage?
Oh, definitely elves.
Elves. Okay, so then we're gonna watch Elves from 1989, which is a 0%. Yeah, I literally
fun.
looked up a list of like bad Christmas horror movies.
Yeah, that's what I did last week.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And so Elves is the very bottom, 0%.
Heck yeah.
I already regret saying this because like I feel like it's gonna be really hard to do it.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. And now, since you say you hate that I send Count Trivia away so fast, I am back. I didn't return. I am here to tell you all about our social media. Ooh, so spooky. Although, no, it's cheerful because it's the holidays. Holidays, special socials. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so you can come and follow us at Instagram at that_was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, YouTube at That Was Horrible, and now on TikTok at That Was Horrible.
Hey,
blah, blah.
Isn't TikTok supposed to be a place that is scary?
Who told him he could come in here? This is my bit.
Hi,
You've had your
trivia.
bits. I'm not allowed until the end of the show. I have to
No.
sit and I have to wait. And
No.
now you come in here and steal my spotlight.
Cal Trivia, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a long time since we've been on camera together.
It's been a while since we've been together like this. We
I
don't,
don't think
talk
we
much
ever
as
have.
a pair, you know.
Wow, it's kind of nice. Hi.
But hi, hello. So
Hey, tell me a joke.
I'll take a Blood Light. That's all I have. I have the one joke.
It's
You
okay.
keep asking
It's
me. I
okay.
can't do it.
Cal Trivia, you don't have to be funny. You just have to be cute.
I am flying away now.
Goodbye.
Thanks again for listening to That Was Horrible.
Yeah,
we
thank you so
appreciate it
much.
so much. Thanks for returning every week and listening to our tomfoolery. Sorry if you missed the Garfield content this episode.
It's kind of weird.
Tell us. We'll do it again.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. We'll resurrect Garfield. We'll find. Listen, if you want, I will find Garfield things to talk about on
Oh
this
yeah,
podcast.
there's tons of it. Like I could talk about garzania,
Garzania?
or the fact that I made lasagna this week
And it was
didn't
great.
Talk about Garfield.
We can review lasagna as
could.
Garfield. I
We
got
could.
nothing.
No, that's a thing.
No.
It's
But
good.
anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the holiday seasons. I hope all of your gift buying is not hell because
I hope you're
it
done.
often is.
I hope you're done.
I hope you're done.
I hope you
I'm not
aren't buying
so-
gifts for anyone.
Derek, are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, he's done. He's way more ahead of it
Yeah,
than I
I'm
am.
done.
Listen, I got a lot of people I got to buy stuff for.
Wow,
So anyway,
Mr.
I'm going to
Cool
go
Guy.
buy some Christmas presents and hopefully not get killed by a snowman on my way.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Goodbye.